Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Marquee DJ and Photo Booth Conference podcast. I am your host, KC, and I am super excited to be having a very good friend that I've known for years on our show from Elite Entertainment in New Jersey. Please welcome Mike Walter.
Thank you, KC. Right. What's going on with you, man?
You know what? I said it like the stupid, like there was an audience. I all of a sudden go, that was a terrible introduction.
Right. It's quite a build-up when there's no like music behind it or applause afterwards.
Right. Now just imagine if you were at a DJ show and it was that anticlimactic.
Right. Then it would
great. Yeah. So, especially after the grief that I gave you and Joe about your intro and that, I just did the same thing because my intro essentially says who I am too. So I just did the same thing that you guys did.
It's all good.
Yeah. So welcome. Thank you for being here. Super excited. For those of you tuning in that this podcast is new, unlike Mike that took 4 years to do 200 episodes, we're going to do it in like 2 weeks. We're just going to crank that sucker out.
Just bang them out.
Exactly. But now if you guys are first tuning in, you're going to know, the guests that I have coming on are involved in some way, shape, or form with the Marquee Show happening June 22nd through the 24th. You want to say hello to you? You want to introduce everyone to your friend over there?
Since that's all right. Shay is my dog. Shay he's just needing some loving right now. So
there you go. So well, if you guys follow Mike, you guys all know who Shay is as well. So that's that. But it's we are talking about all things Marquee and we're super excited. Finally, year 3. Mike's going to be joining us. I guess technically, I don't know if it's 3 or 4. I guess if it's a leap year, kind of a COVID year, how that fits. But
well, no, you didn't have one in 2020, so it should. This is year 3.
Yeah. So
it's like the hotels that skip the 13th floor and just name it the 14th floor.
Very good. So, and Mike
like
did join us.
Anyone.
Yeah. Well, Mike did join us for our online one that we did in April. So we're super excited about having him here in person. And again, we're going to be June 22nd, 23rd, 24th in Chicago. I know because Mike's been here with me in the summer. Chicago's a gorgeous city. So if you need...
Yeah, did I hear the Cubs are home that week?
Cubs are home Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday.
Awesome.
Now, Sunday's Father's Day, so I know it's going to be a problem for a lot of people. They got plans with their families. But travel day on Monday, you can get in, enjoy the city. Tuesday night, we're going to have an event, and Wednesday night, we're going to have an event. So you are going to hope that you don't cut out to go to Wrigley.
No, I booked my flight the other day. I think I travel home on Thursday. I have a gig that Friday.
Okay.
I'm traveling home on Thursday, but I think I'm flying out on Sunday because I wanted to give myself an extra day in the city.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, you've been here in the summer. You know how beautiful the city is, the weather is. It's a terrific time of year. So if you're on the fence about whether or not to come, I'm going to tell you the city of Chicago and the weather is definitely
I can't imagine any DJ that could make it not making it just because we've been so it's going to be over a year before between DJ conferences, right? I mean, the last conference was what? I guess that photo booth
with John Young's Disc Jockey edition.
Yeah.
And then the next one will be Midwest DJs Live in Milwaukee. And Mitch Taylor and Gene and the guys are also lining up a nice, beautiful lineup. But it is Milwaukee. I mean, come on. I mean,
so if you're going to make one of them.
That's like saying, it's not in New York. It's in New Jersey. I mean, it's the same thing.
I get it.
Milwaukee's like the armpit of the Midwest, just like New Jersey's the armpit of the East Coast, right?
I haven't spent enough time in Milwaukee to know if that's a good analogy, but as somebody who grew up in New York City and now live in New Jersey, Jersey does not compare.
Well, I will say this: Milwaukee's a beautiful town too, and it is a little big city, so it has a lot. It still is on Lake Michigan, so it's got a beautiful skyline. It also has the city is beautiful. There's lots of historic buildings in there. The thing that is odd though is downtown Milwaukee isn't robust like Manhattan is or like downtown Chicago is. On the weekends, downtown Milwaukee is dead. It's like lots of office buildings. They don't have a lot of residential. It's very odd, but also a beautiful town. And our friends at Midwest DJs Live are doing a great job. And
well, there are sections of New York. We don't need to go down a tangent like this, but there are sections of New York City that are like that. There are sections of New York City that are strictly business, and on the weekends they're dead. But then there are big sections of New York City that are more residential, and so obviously you don't have that.
Yeah. So excited to have you coming. Excited to have you on the podcast.
I've heard nothing but great things about the show. Wasn't able to make year 1 or 2 because of scheduling differences, and this year I'm super excited to be coming out.
Good. Well, super excited about having you. So we already know that there's roughly like 6,000 or so DJs that do believe in conferences and coming, but I'm hoping this podcast is also going to reach out to those that have never been, and they might know who you are by name, but not necessarily who you are as a person. So I want you to kind of, if you wouldn't mind, talk to me about how you got in the business, your background, and that way, a lot of people go like, I totally relate to this guy.
I've started in the late 80s, and I actually had gone to school for broadcasting. I was thinking about getting into radio, and there was a very successful multi-op in New Jersey called Star DJs at the time, and they had an agreement. I went to Connecticut School of Broadcasting, and they had an agreement with them where they would come in towards the end of the semester and basically tell us all why we didn't want to get into radio, because there was no music in radio whatsoever, and you should become a mobile DJ.
You mean there was no money?
Gave it any thought.
You said there was no music in radio.
There's no money.
There's no money. Yeah, I think there is music in radio.
There is music, but no money.
Not on MTV anymore, but in radio.
And so I never really thought about becoming a mobile DJ, but I got to know the guys at Star and basically auditioned for them and got a job with them, and then started working in their office and spent 4 years there. And it was really a great introduction for me into the business, and then left them in the early 90s to get Elite Entertainment going. And it's been pretty successful since then. So coming up on 30 years owning Elite Entertainment.
Wow, that's great. So coming up, like early 90s, 91, 92?
Yeah, well, Elite started in 92 with somebody named Eric Taylor.
Okay.
I joined him a year later, and then I eventually bought Eric out. So I technically think of the beginning of Elite as 93, so it'll be 2 more years till I celebrate that anniversary.
Yeah, February 1st of this year I always say it's February 1st, I gave my notice at the company I worked for to start my first DJ company. Okay. And I'm still friends with the original owner, like you are with John Murphy. Yeah. So I call him up every February 1st and I go, happy quitiversary. And he's like, what are you talking about? And he forgets every year. I'm like, this was the day I gave my 2-week notice to you.
That's cool.
So, but he's still a very close friend. And so that's that. So we've got your background, and tell me about Elite Entertainment for those that don't know about it.
So we focus on weddings. We have a DJ division, which is the largest of the 3. And then about 10 years ago, we opened a video division, and a year or 2 after that, we opened a photo division. So like I said, the DJ portion of it is still the largest. We do 1,000 events a year in the DJ portion, and then a couple of hundred shooting weddings, photography, and video-wise. And those have been great expansions for us, because not only do they help revenue-wise, but there's cross-marketing that helps tremendously. I know a lot of DJs who struggle to get any pictures of themselves in action or any video footage of their staff in action, and I have not had that problem for years, because my video staff is often working with my DJs, or my photographers are often working with my DJs. So the cross-promotional, especially when it comes to social media, has been a great benefit to having that.
So what you're saying is that you are so vain that you had to start your own photography and video company just so more people could take pictures of you.
Social media it's an interesting thing. You do have to have vanity, because you are self-promoting yourself.
I get it.
Pretty much nonstop, but you of all people should know, and I say that because you're a great marketer. Yeah, I mean, where is it vanity and where is it marketing? And I'm sure the two can cross,
Yeah, no, absolutely. So tell everybody what you've had a series of
Sorry,
really.
everybody, that's my puppy Donovan. He's
okay.
I think we're getting deer walking through the backyard.
So you've had a ton of really well-received seminars, training your multi-ops, different MC workshops. So what are we looking forward to hearing at Marquee this year?
So this is a seminar that I've probably put more preparation into than anything, because I was supposed to present this seminar for the first time at DJ Times in August of last year. Mm-hmm. And I had presented the idea to Jim Tremaine, and he said, great, you run with it. So about a year ago now, last winter, is when I started putting the prep into it. It's a seminar called Get With the Programming, and I'm really focusing on exactly that, programming, which is the art of putting the next song with the next song and the song after that, and building sets and putting your musical, your whole playlist together in a good order and making it make sense and maximizing the crowd and all those other factors that come into it. So I started preparing for this a year ago now, thinking I needed to be ready by August. And then we all know what happened last year. I didn't have an opportunity to do any seminars last year. So this seminar has been not only in the can for about a year, but I'm constantly adding to it, because I'm constantly thinking of, oh, that's another tidbit I can throw in, and that's another tangent I can throw in. And I know when you and I originally spoke about it, I asked for 90 minutes. Do you know if you've been able to give me 90 minutes?
I know the producer. I could make that happen.
Great.
So it's not going to be an issue.
And I guarantee, I think it'll be, because 90 minutes can be a long seminar. Right. I know that from presenting. 60 to me is usually the sweet spot. 90 can be a little stretched, but I don't think it will be in this instance, because most DJs, when they get around each other and start talking about, boom, fill in the blank, one of the topics that we all love, or most of us love, is, hey, what song do you play? Tell me what you played last Saturday night. Or, hey, if I played this song, what would you suggest? Can you suggest a song after that? Or how many people do this after that? So it's a topic that we all kind of kick around anyway and think about. And so I'm basically just offering 32 years worth of experience and what I can share with you as far as putting those kind of things together.
And you're also very open about sharing, because you have you've got a Mixcloud whatever platform that so if people wanted to kind of hear you or see you, not see you but hear you, what's your
you can find me on Mixcloud at DJ Mike Walter.
Okay.
And it's something I'm shocked every DJ doesn't do this, although I guess some of them are just not proud of their mixing skills. And
he just threw the gauntlet down.
I book a fair number of brides and grooms who go to my Mixcloud page, hear me mixing, and go, yeah, that's what we want. Cool. So, and it's so easy nowadays. Any of the major, Serato, Virtual, any of them, I'm pretty sure Rekordbox, all you have to do is hit record while you're playing. And, I do that often at a wedding when I'm about to start a set. I just hit record. And I'll be honest, there are times where I hit unrecord, 3 songs into it, I don't like the way the set is going, or I had a clunker of a mix or whatever. But, a lot of times I'll get a 40 minute to 1 hour set out of it. And then I upload it to my Mixcloud page. And so anyone who doesn't know me that well and wants to go hear my mixing skills, by all means, head to Mixcloud and check me out.
Or they can just get ideas from you too.
Yeah. So, and you know what? I consider that a compliment. If I didn't want other DJs to get ideas from me, I wouldn't share things like that. And I've been speaking at shows for over 20 years now, DJ conferences, and I wouldn't do that either. I've had people pull me aside and say, you realize you're just helping your competition. I guess that's one way to look at it, but I'm pretty confident that Elite Entertainment has a good foothold in our market, and we get enough business for ourselves. Mm-hmm. But B, I've always thought of it, and I know you do too. Yeah. That with the cliche of the rising tide raises all ships. Right. If I wind up helping my competitor a little bit, and he raises his price to a decent level, and the competition rises, I think it's a good thing all around. So I've never been. Plus,
with all of your DVDs and your books, you're making tens of dollars at every tens of dollars.
Yeah.
Tens of dollars.
I'm about to retire off of all that book money I make.
Yeah, yes. I believe it.
Yeah.
So you still can't drink imported beer, though, probably.
No. Not yet. Yeah.
But on that subject, you're a big proponent of education, and you've given back like I've given back, like so many of our presenters are openly giving back. And, as much as people think, and I'll let them in on the secret, the show's producers are not capable of paying tens of thousands of dollars to truly amazing people. So the people speaking like yourself are doing it for the love of the industry, for the growth of the industry. And so it's one of those things where I think we're doing it because we love it. And I know, and I think you were the same way, because we talked about the first DJ shows we went to. For me, it was seeing Andy Ebon and Johnny Roz and Gary Casser and all these guys speaking. And then things transitioned to you and I taking the stage. And now it's Nick Spinelli and Jeffrey Scott Gold and Dave Lander speaking. And so it's exciting. But, I can't stress enough, and I know you believe it, that I know it's been a tough year. 2020 has been a super, super tough year. But I can't help but feel that if you're not investing in education, whether it's my show or Midwest DJs Live or ARM DJs or DJ Times, especially coming out of this, would you agree you're almost doing yourself and your company a disservice?
Yeah, absolutely. I think when times are toughest and when you're struggling for business, that's more the reason to seek out, new education, new ideas, new marketing ideas, things like that. So absolutely. And I mean, your show is not that expensive, right. And Chicago is an easy city to get in and out of.
Absolutely.
It's within, I actually flirted with driving to it, but I decided to fly. But I mean, for so many people, it is a drivable city. Yep. And you threw a number out. So 6,000 DJs attend conferences, and there's 94,000 in the industry. Is that?
I think there's about 100,000. Now that could also be the bedroom DJs, the young DJs. Like my nephew's 20 years old, college student. But he's still DJing now. He just took all his gear to school and he's trying to get a job working at local bars and pubs. But
so I'd love to know, of that 94,000, what percentage of those DJs are aware that there are conferences and choose not to go? And what percentage just never knew? Because I know every once in a while I'll meet somebody at a show and they'll say, how long have these been going on? And I'll go, forever. And they'll say, right. I've been DJing for 25 years. I never knew about a show like this. I'll be back here every year.
Right.
So I do wonder. And again, I'm going to give kudos to you. I think you're one of the best marketers in our industry. If anyone can get to that 94,000 or a good percentage of them, I think it's you. And good luck doing it, because I think a lot of those people, if they knew, they would come and then their world would be enlightened.
Well, and I can say from experience, and I'm sure that you can attest to it, that my business has grown and I've gotten to become even if you're not looking to grow your business, but just be a better DJ. Like, I can say that these shows have been invaluable to me for personal growth, for professional growth, for business growth, not to mention having made lifelong friends, along the way as well. I mean, I sincerely love going to the other shows. And one of the concerns that I had, which with mobile was an issue, when I hung my shingle, they closed their door to me, which was sad because I didn't get to see my friends at their show. But, DJ Times has been very hospitable, as has ARMS, has been Midwest. So I get to go there and see close friends, even if it's just the annual Mecca to see you and Jim Cerrone and Bill Herman and Joe Bunn and all the guys. And the sad part now for me is being on the producer side, I don't have as much casual time to hang out.
Yeah, I would imagine during the conference itself, you got to be pretty busy.
Yep.
Yeah, and what you're talking about with the social aspect of it, and the networking, to use that term, that's the thing that you don't get when you watch stuff online. And I know you had said you're doing an online, a virtual option. And I think that's great for anyone who can't physically be there.
Right.
But if there's some way you can physically be there, I urge you to do it, because you will quadruple your investment just in just by being there in person and getting a chance to meet other attendees and possibly some of the speakers and maybe somebody like yourself. You will just, the amount that you'll learn will probably be more, but the amount of networking you'll get out of it and relationships you'll get out of it it's tenfold.
Right. And one of the reasons I chose the hotel that I did is there's complimentary parking. So if you have to drive in, you're not paying $20, $25 a day like at some casinos or some big city hotels. We're right off of the highway. Chicago is a great city to come and visit regardless. For the exhibitors, it's non-union. There's no drayage fees. So I really attempted to pick a hotel that was as conducive as possible to attendees, local, national. We're about 15 to 20 minutes maybe from O'Hare. So it's not going to be probably a $15 Uber ride. So it's not super expensive. No different than flying into Vegas and going to any casino. So again, and it's a beautiful Hyatt hotel with all of the modern amenities. So it's a great hotel. It's a great time. And, and we're going to, Monday evening, the plan is that we're going to do a Taste of Chicago at a friend's venue at Loft 21. We'll have deep dish pizza and Italian beef and Chicago-style hot dogs, so people will get a taste of Chicago. Wednesday night, we're doing a club night not far from the hotel, too. So there'll be evening activities. And again, if you're driving in, you can brown bag as much as you want to. And again, I'm not telling you to go out to expensive steakhouses or whatever. Do what you're comfortable with. But I agree with you. I think it's super, super important to come and it's like going to a sporting event live, or it's like going to a concert live. It's just the energy is different, the vibe is different, and I think you won't regret having come.
Yeah, the concert thing is a great analogy, and I think now that we've been locked down for close to a year, I don't know if you've done any virtual concerts, but my wife and I have done a few, and it's just not the same.
Oh, yeah.
Even if it's like if the artist is live, literally, he's on a screen, he's playing, it's, you can enjoy it, and it's been a nice substitute but we sit there, it almost makes us miss the concert experience even more. So,
sure.
If you choose to attend something like this virtually, I think you'll get the education. But you have to understand, when you hit end on a thing, and then you're alone in your house or your office, understand that right after that seminar, all the attendees were milling around chatting and networking and talking about who wants to go to dinner tonight and who wants to have breakfast tomorrow morning together. So these are the things that happen in person.
And even just keeping it on education, the minute you walk out and I overhear you talking, all of a sudden you're looking at what the presenter presented in this way, someone else is looking at a different way, third way, and you're like, God, I never thought about it this way. And it's just one of those, interesting things where it's like looking at art. Everybody sees something different.
Right.
And so
a lot of people say that the best nuggets that you get away from a conference are the stuff you pick up in the hallway.
Sure.
And as a speaker, sometimes I get offended by that, because I'm like, I put a lot of time and effort into this seminar, and you're telling me just some conversation in the hallway. But I do agree with that sometimes you can glean some incredible nuggets just from, but I also, as a speaker, I'll make the argument that a lot of those conversations wouldn't have happened but for some speaker kind of planting a seed.
Right. Or inspiring
and then everyone goes out and it starts germinating, just to continue with that analogy. So had it not been for a speaker's initial thought or idea, you wouldn't have had that conversation. But yeah, that's another reason for being there live, is those conversations that just happen spontaneously. Right.
And in the event that an attendee can't, our show, we are doing a virtual Zoom. Now, I'm going to be honest with everybody. We are not recording it for public, viewing. There's no DVDs or a website. And my main reason for it is I understand 2020 and COVID's been tough on people, But if you can't commit 3 days, like you just, I'm looking for people that want to make the commitment, and it's only $99 for the virtual pass. So you'll get all of the seminars. We're going to walk the showroom floor, and the exhibitors are going to talk about the products and services that they have, the new products that you may not have seen for one reason or another, depending on where you're at geographically in the country. So we're going to do everything we can to give you a true virtual experience. But if we're going to commit to doing this for you, you need to commit to being there during the hours of the show itself. And hopefully then at the same point in time, you'll see the energy and excitement of the show. And 2022, you'll join us or another show, whatever fits your palate, and goes from there. So every show's got its unique, different features, advantages, and benefits. And again, I'm just a big proponent of education. I owe a lot of my career, my success, to the hallway conversations, to dinners, to breakfasts, and to all of the presenters, because without that, you got to have the canvas to at least have a blank canvas to work from. So
yeah, it's one of the areas I've always agreed. And I'll say this as an attendee, you'll see me, other than my own seminar, you'll see me in the seats pretty much the whole week, because one of the reasons why I love speaking at conferences is that I get to then be an attendee. And I've seen your roster. I'm looking forward to Nick Spinelli is always entertaining.
Oh yeah,
and educational. I wonder. You were just telling me before we hit record, you got a voiceover guy, which you just got me stoked about hearing that.
Yeah,
so.
Harry Legg, who's with KISS FM and KTLU. So super excited about Harry.
Yeah. I will be, but I'll be watching.
Cool. Very good. So any final thoughts? Anything you can think of?
I'm just super excited, man. This is the first conference I will be attending it's going to be, so November 2019, I was in Las Vegas.
For Wedding MBA, right?
And so it'll be 18 months since I was at That's the longest break I've ever had. So I'm super excited about it.
Good. Well, I'm so excited about seeing you and everybody watching or listening. I'm excited about the possibility of you guys joining us. So, Mike, thank you very much for coming on. And everybody else, please stick around join our Facebook chat group. We're going to be talking about this, any extended conversation on this, as well as go to marqueeshow.com for all things Marquee. And hopefully we'll see you guys all in June. So thanks a lot, Mike. We will talk to you guys all very soon.
Thank you.